Hi guys, yeah. So there's just also another guy who also is in the business of um, of also causing problem wherever I find itself in the body of the host. It could be plant, which could be animal, it could be a human being. Well, animals actually, higher animals. So fungal infections, we say fungal infection. Let's be grammatically correct, right? As expected, we should be grammatically correct. Are you with me? Yes, you are. Now, you see, fungal infections, fungi as a disease-causing organism affect both plant and animal. So it affects. Now, just like I said earlier, disease caused by fungi are much severe, affect both plants and animals, Now, like I said, causes severe infections. Now, one thing about fungi is that fungi has the ability to form spores, which you call molds, and they can form billions of spores. And these spores can travel in the air as air particles. Now, if a particular organism is forming spores, and these spores are traveling in the air as air particles, it tells you that those spores are very tiny, so very tiny and minute. So, most times, the way fungal infection comes in is through inhalation of these spores. So, inhalation of these spores is one of the ways by which fungi gets into the system. So that's the route by which that pathogen comes into the body, through spores. Because these spores, when they are released like that, when you form these spores, they become active as air particles in the atmosphere. They have the ability, there's a certain duration for which they can survive. Now, if during that period you get to inhale these spores, they are going to be introduced into the system via the respiratory tract. And where it becomes so much severe is if you are not immunosuppressed. Because the truth is, we don't see those spores. It means that every day there's a high chance that we are exposed to these fungal spores. But the question is, why is it that everybody doesn't contact infection? The function of your immune system. So in a normal setting, even in clinical setting, by the time you start seeing somebody having a severe fungal infection, you want to suspect that that person is immunosuppressed. So, because most of the times, by the time you see fungal infections, it's always in addition to, it's like a complication of an immunosuppressive disease. For instance, most people that have HIV infections, they don't, in hospital setting, you don't actually first detect the HIV first. But by the time you start seeing somebody coming down with toxoplasmosis, histoplasmosis, something that is more of a fungal infection, you want to suspect that this person is immunosuppressed. And you want to suspect conditions that can immunosuppress an individual, that can suppress the immunity of an individual. And a good example of such is human immunodeficiency virus. So, fungal infections, most times, you find it happening among immunosuppressed persons. You understand? You find it happening among immunosuppressed persons because basically that's just one of the major routes where fungi comes in, through this inhalation of the spores. You understand? And then we also have, just as we have common fungal infections. Now, basically, in the human body, there are areas where you see fungal infection being predominant, and just areas such as the skin, the hair, nails, and of course the lungs, other tissues in the body, as well as other tissues in the body, So yeah, there you go. There are other tissues in the body. Okay, where are we? Now, Candida albicans is a common fungi. Let's not use tautology. It's responsible for most fungal infections in the body. It's even present as a normal flora in the body. Candidiasis, and it causes that condition called candidiasis. The condition is called candidema, when there's high amount of candida. It's a yeast actually, high amount of candida in the in the bloodstream, you say candidemia. So most fungal infections in the body is due to this, because it's the most common. It's very ubiquitous. It's found almost everywhere. So it's the most common fungi you find around. So most fungal infections in the body, Candida albicans, and it causes this condition which you call candidiasis. So you can have invasive candidiasis, you can have deep candidiasis. So candidiasis, yeah. So fungal infections. Now we'll continue our discussion in the next class. See you next class.